Hello, Pisces. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for your patience. I was sick. I was super sick. I was in bed for a week, and I'm still kind of sick, but I'm better. Yeah, so I want to get into a reading for May 2019. We could just go from there. If I keep clearing my throat, it's because I have to. I still have like some sort of weirdo sinus infection. So, show me energies present for Pisces, please. What does Pisces need to know for May 2019? What does Pisces need to know? Oh, it's a very clear message that came flying out in reverse. 7 of Swords in reverse, Pisces. Excellent. So, energy where we are releasing frustrations, letting go of baggage that has been brought to us by people who may have not had our best interest at heart, releasing things that we have been very painful about. This can also sometimes be truth coming out by somebody who has perhaps done those things. Letting go of self-sabotatory energy and behaviors, not rushing into things only to run away from them immediately. I feel more so about the person. I feel this is more personal than it is self-sabotatory, but over time it feels like that energy becomes self-sabotatory because we allow it to eat away at us. We allow it to frustrate us and be consumed by things. When people hurt us or when we've experienced pain, that's what I'm feeling right now. So let's keep going, Pisces. I'll take this one. King of Cups. Could be dealing with the Scorpio. It could be you, Pisces. King of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, primarily Scorpio energy. Could have been dealing with a Scorpio who treated you poorly and you're finally letting it go, getting over it, not wanting to be part of it. It also could be that this person is wanting to communicate truth to you, wanting to let go of the past, right wrongs. Yeah, let's keep going. I don't want to read too much into that. I want the full spread and then we can get into it. Show me more for Pisces, please. Moving away from troubled waters, frustration being alleviated, active release, getting away from things. If this is you, Pisces, I think you're doing a damn good job of letting go of stuff that has kind of plagued you from the past, kind of entrapped you and ensnared you in situations of the heart that may not be healthy for you to maintain. Yeah, it feels like it's kind of like, okay, well, that's in the past. Now I get to go here. Now I get to move this way. And it's having compassion for ourselves. It's maybe, I don't want to say stuffing down the feelings, but having felt something for so long, you kind of have to move on, you know? So move on. It's good. There's nothing wrong with that. Move on to better situations. You have the Empress here. This is about abundance. It's about self-love, nurturance. It's about seeing what we need in life and actually going after what it is that we want, you know, being our own friend, filling our own cup, being happy. Show me more for Pisces. You have the Page of Pentacles. Let's just keep pulling cards. Show me more for Pisces. Justice. Knight of Swords. Somebody wants to speak the truth, come out about something, be clear about something. And if somebody doesn't do that, it's your cue to move on. Don't wait for somebody if it's been forever by them getting to you. You may have, I'm sorry, I'm almost dropping my water over here. You may have progressed to a very substantial degree. That doesn't mean this person is in the same boat. Sometimes people can be a little bit more infantile, juvenile, childish in regard to how they deal with emotions. You know, it feels here like somebody's been very much in their head, though. This is one cup card and almost all swords. I'm going to include the Justice card as a sword card. And then we have this poor little Page of Pentacles here who kind of seems bewildered in this sea of change, yet not knowing how to bring it about or not knowing how to address it. If you're dealing with somebody who's taken forever to get to you, to communicate with you, I don't want this storyline to be the same, but, and it's not the same. It just feels like there's now shedding of this energy. It feels like we're no longer, it's almost, it almost seems infinitesimal. That's what it feels like. It seems more so infinitesimal versus it's minimized now, and you've done a good job at minimizing it. There's a point here where we have to release this energy and let go to find the next stage in our life, to step into our power in a healthier situation, in more depth, and do so with gratitude. You know, it feels like this situation has caused somebody a fair amount of pain, and now it's time to let it go. It's time to close that chapter in the book and part the ways. Part the seas, part the ways, go. Show me more for Pisces. Flying out in reverse. All these cards are upright, okay? Flying out in reverse, you got the Ten of Pentacles. So letting go of burdens, not wanting to be part of something that makes no sense in your life anymore. If it hurts you, you've healed from it. You're moving away from it. Not much else to be said about that. Good job. I mean, for real. I almost feel here too, Pisces, in regard to these three cards that are sandwiched on top of each other. You know, somebody may have treated you poorly in the past, or is treating you poorly now, but I think you have had enough of this situation where you recognize that that just may be who they are. And I think it's less of a shock and more of like a, okay, an acceptance. It's an acceptance. That's what it feels like to me. It doesn't feel like you're as wounded as you were about this. No, it doesn't feel like that at all. It feels like you see something for what it is, and you'd rather take the high road, the emotionally stable high road, and get out of it versus being stuck in something, because being stuck in this seems like it's exhausting. Show me, okay. Yeah. Turning something away, not wanting to accept an offer, not making an offer, not going forward with somebody or something, you know, and it's right under the King of Cups, the Justice card, and now we have the Four of Cups. This is being very clear in the direction you want to go in, being very clear in what makes sense for you in your life, cutting out what doesn't make sense for you, being honest about what makes sense for you and what your feelings are. Pay attention to your feelings, you know. Pisces can get very wrapped up in their emotions. They can get very wounded. They can get very addicted to people and pain. And I think that this is really calling you to assess that, really calling you to be conscious of your efforts and how you provide peace of mind to yourself. Okay? Give me one more card for Pisces, please. Okay, two more cards. With the Knight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You have the Queen of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles popping out together. It's interesting here, Pisces. It's like letting this thing go, whatever it is. It doesn't feel like you're going to be staying in a situation with somebody. It doesn't feel like you're going to really be re-engaging in a situation with somebody either. Because I don't want to say it's taken too long. What I will say is that the time that it took was perfect. The time that it took for you to clear your head, whether this person is back on the scene or not, the time it took for you to clear your head in regard to this person has been perfect. The amount of pain you've experienced has been perfect. It's a trajectory. It's a jumping point to where you want to go, where you need to be, what's your next phase in life. It's acceptance of yourself and not beating yourself up about feeling so enwrapped in something that you kind of lost yourself. And when we start to move away from these things, we end up taking the reins of our life. When we do that, we give ourselves abundance. We give ourselves the opportunity to change. We give ourselves the opportunity to expand our mind, our heart, expand the views that we have of other people. If somebody fucked you over, So be it. Not everybody's going to fuck you over. But at least now you understand that these are the things and people and types of personalities that you don't want in your life, right? You know what not to go into. You know the type of people to look out for. Be careful about these things. Like, this is like training wheels for you to make your next step. Like, do it. Make your next step. Go into life strong. Okay? So... yeah, and you know what? I do want to mention here too, I think it's really important for you to stand strong in your power in regard to what you choose. You know, if somebody comes back into your life and it brings up a bunch of turmoil and all of these unsettled thoughts that you may have felt were finished, and now they're back on the burner, and like things are crazy, and like you're second guessing your decisions to move away from this, really pay attention to what feels right, okay? Really pay attention to what feels good for yourself. Pay attention to what makes sense for you as far as your own stability, your emotional stability. Rely on friends, rely on family, communicate with people that you know you can trust. You know, those are the people that have your best interest at heart. I really want to say too that you really need to speak your mind about fairness. Something here about this situation doesn't seem very fair, and rather than you losing your head about it, Pisces, I would definitely say be very clear about the communication that you want to have. Be very clear about the point you want to make to whomever this is, but then be done with it. Like, there's no reason to maintain it. There's no reason to harbor anymore with this. There's no reason to continue trying to be stuck in this situation with somebody who doesn't get it anyhow. Like, yeah. So, okay, let's clarify. And I was like, oh, let's clarify with this deck, whatever, like the ones I've been using. I was like, no, this one. So I don't know what's going on with this particular deck, but I am being told to clarify with it. So let's do it. Show me, yeah, I want you to clarify for Pisces, please. Pisces, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Pisces, all of Pisces, whatever is encompassing in Pisces, show me. Ugh. So many coughing. Ugh. Don't like it. Show me the Seven of Swords in reverse. Wow, that didn't take long. The Devil. The Seven of Swords in reverse with the Devil and the Magician at the bottom of the deck. So essentially what I'm feeling is somebody wanting to come back, communicate that they have changed, they have seen a new light, turned a leaf, whatever. And they may have, but that doesn't mean that you have to be part of it. You know, and I also want to say here too with the Devil and this, as much as this may have been a codependent situation in regard to how you are processing this, like the mental ups and downs, the roller coaster, emotional roller coaster, the beating yourself up about things, not letting things go, getting upset that you weren't able to let it go. This is divorcing yourself from that toxic energy. This is divorcing yourself from codependent toxicity, you know, and understanding why it was there, understanding that you don't necessarily have to do it like that again. You know, that's important. That's really important. And also, dear Lordy, in regard to this person, you know, they may just be like that. Like, they may just be like that. For this to be showing up as the the clarifier for the Seven of Swords in reverse, you know, I don't necessarily know if this person is on the level. You have the Magician here at the bottom of the deck for that. And you have the Two of Pentacles underneath that. This is essentially energy where we're out of balance. It also indicates an energy where somebody else is out of balance. Somebody else may have an issue that they don't necessarily recognize as a problem, but being involved with them in a relationship situation, an emotional connection, that problem comes out more and more and more. And sometimes people need to be released to get the full understanding of their problem, that it's not something that flies with you. You'll have to learn that with another person. But thank God you went through that, because now you don't have to do it again, right? Show me the King of Cups for Pisces. Show me the King of Cups for Pisces. No. Temperance and the King of Cups. The High Priestess. I need some water. Hang on. First of all, this is somebody that needs emotional balance. They need emotional healing. Also, Pisces, you are very much so the King of Cups as well. This is talking about you being very much in your compassionate aspect, stepping into that role, feeling compassion for somebody. You don't have to part ways with somebody like in an uproar. It doesn't have to be the tower moment. You can part ways from a place of stability within yourself. Re-engaging with somebody just for communication doesn't mean that you have to fall to pieces. If anything, it's more of an empowering situation, and don't be haughty. Don't be, I'm so, how do I say, don't be egoic. Like, be genuine in how you've grown. You don't have to give them every morsel in detail about how you've grown, but let them know that being with them was a game changer for you. It helped you understand where you want to go and what you want to do and how you want to experience life and what you don't want in life. Let them know kindly that they were amazing for you. It changes things. It changes things. Part of me feels like this person is like on the 50-50, like, have they changed? Have they not changed? Some of you, your person may have, some of you, they may have not, but if it feels right, do it. If it doesn't feel right, do you, Show me more. Show me one more for the King of Cups with the King of Cups. Ooh. Pisces. You have the Ace of Cups. Somebody may have changed. Somebody may be wanting to offer things here. We again have the Knight of Swords in your reading, so heavy communication here. All right. Well, somebody may have grown a bit here, Pisces. I don't advocate staying in situations that feel bad. I don't. It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for anybody. We have a lot of change in this reading, but it feels like it's more so rooted down by you. Like, do you want to change this? Do you want to change your own life? Or do you want to get back involved with this situation? I don't know. Give me one more for the King of Cups with the King of Cups and the Ace of Cups. What is the energy that's truly behind this Ace of Cups for the King of Cups? What is truly behind this energy? Okay. The Knight of Swords at the bottom of the deck again. So somebody really wants to communicate here then, Pisces. Somebody wants to change things. Somebody wants to move forward. All right. Somebody may, in fact, be letting things go. I feel like it's 50-50. Some people are going to be dealing with a situation where they realize that they no longer want to be in the situation, be in an entanglement with somebody, and they're being compassionate towards themselves and they're letting things go. They're being diligent and honest in that regard. Some of you, this person has changed. Some of you, this person is wanting to come back. And some of you, you're going to be moving back into this. Readings are always interesting. Especially when there's like dual energies and like multiple storylines for groups of people. Somebody said once to me, you can't read more than one storyline for this and that. And like, I'm not reading for any one person. I'm reading for thousands of people. Like, there's multiple stories for thousands of people. Energies come in, they come out. Like, this is the energy that's present now. Somebody's changing. Somebody wants to change something and move forward. But this comes after a fair deal of balance. Give me one for the Devil. Seven of Pentacles here, Pisces. So what I'm feeling here is more of an awakening in regard to this person. Looking at their past, looking at the situation. I think this isn't just them, it's also you. Complete transparency in regard to how you want to go about things. Complete transparency in regard to what you want in your life with each other. if you want it to head into this 10 of Pentacles direction, you have to be utterly honest, and they do too. It's a meeting of the minds. I wonder too if that's why the two King of Cups cards are here, if we need to balance each other out and see eye to eye in the same way and be on the same wavelength with each other, like in a very, very fixed way, it seems. Show me the Six of Swords for Pisces. So you have 6 cards popping out, Pisces. You have the Knight of Cups. You have the Six of Swords. 3 of Pentacles. 2 of Swords. 5 of Swords. And the Fool. So what I'm feeling here is somebody wanting to communicate that they want to come back. They want to change things. They're looking at the past. They're looking at where it's led them and it hasn't felt good. And in the same turn, I want you to be very conscious of what you've experienced here. If it was something that you literally know that you can't sustain this type of relationship, don't involve yourself in it. Some of you, this is going to be an okay situation to get back into, but there's a lot of evaluation here. There's a lot of evaluation here in regard to manipulation, mind games, in regard to how that works for people. We have the 5 of Swords and we've got the 2 of Swords here. Total of 7 of Swords. We're remembering what's happened. We're remembering why we walked away, why they walked away. You know, there's a remembrance here. But then we have this Fool card. And I want to say, Pisces, don't jump into something because it just feels good. Don't jump into something just because there's a bunch of passion there. You know, really evaluate something. You know, really evaluate a thing if it makes sense for you to be in or not, you know. Some of you will be saying no to this. Some of you, this is what you've been wanting. And I don't want to, there's no shame in that. There's no shame in wanting a relationship. There's no shame in loving somebody. But when you put yourself aside and you disregard your feelings and your emotions and your pain, you know, and get involved in something that provides more of that, I say be careful. Show me this Page of Pentacles. What does this Page of Pentacles truly offer, Pisces? So you have 2 cards. You have the 2 of Wands and you have the Hierophant here, Pisces. So choosing a direction, choosing a pathway with somebody, slow and steady wins the race. Not jumping into something immediately. It talks about unity. It talks about union. The Hierophant talks about marriage. It talks about commitment. It talks about establishments. Yeah. You could do that, or you have the option to go the other way with the 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles talks about being on your own. It talks about satisfying your life on your own terms, making your own money, doing your own things. And then this card is weaving its way out. Aww. Strength. And the 2 of Cups. This is big decisions. These are big decisions. I'm going to leave that card in there. It wove its way out. I'm going to leave it in there and see if it pops up again. Show me justice for Pisces. You have the King of Swords and the Tower. So heavy communication. You could be dealing with a Libra. Heavy communication. You know, Pisces too, this could be, what I'm feeling here too, Pisces, this could be a situation of experiencing new love with somebody that's not what the situation was. Experiencing new love with somebody who is maybe coming from kind of the same place that you are, and having a unique connection with them, and in a way that's kind of like universal karma and justice, um, by the sheer fact that you're being brought together with somebody. It doesn't have to be that you maintain a situation with somebody from the past. And I know that this reading sounds disjointed and all over the place, and frankly, I kind of feel like that. But what I'm definitely feeling here is like there's some sort of energy here, Pisces, where whomever you're connecting with feels good. And, I do want to say it might not be somebody from the past. You might be getting involved with somebody that has also gone through something quite like this, or similar tumultuous energy. And it's like you're breaking the shackles of the past and you're moving forward with them. Could be somebody from the past, but I don't know. Everybody's got a different situation. It's a general reading. Show me the Knight of Swords for Pisces. A lot of air energy in here, though. Could be dealing with Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Show me the Knight of Swords. Okay. 2 cards popping out in reverse. So you have the Emperor in reverse and you have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. The Knight of Swords and the Emperor in reverse, it's not really a very easygoing combination, Pisces. That's somebody who's very my way or the highway, very not understanding, very uneasy to deal with, somebody who's out of balance emotionally, and they fight. Now, it feels like somebody needs to be communicated with very harshly. You may be getting communication that's very harsh, or you may be having to deal out communication that's very harsh. See, this reading feels like it's 2 ways. It feels like there's a group of you that either is getting into a situation with somebody that feels really excellent, and there's a group of you that's like, no. And then there's this energy where it's like there's somebody here who is dealing with a new situation. And new could mean a year. It doesn't have to mean brand spanking new, but you're dealing with a new situation and somebody from the past shows up on the scene and is offering you something else, and it doesn't feel necessarily healthy to be involved in because the new situation feels better. That's crazy energy. There's a bunch of energy here. So I don't know. Before you get mad and yell at me, take it for what it is. And if it makes sense, it does. And if it doesn't make sense, don't fit it. I can't force things to fit. General readings are not personal readings, you guys. A lot of people think that they're just for them because I say the word you, but when I say you, I'm addressing thousands of people. And a lot of people get very angry because they think, oh, well, that's not my situation at all. Well, if it's not your situation, it's not your situation, You can't force it to be something it isn't. So let it go. Show me the 10 of Wands in reverse for Pisces. 10 of Wands in reverse with the 10 of Swords. Letting go of things that no longer make sense. Letting go of heartbreak, frustration, being stabbed in the back. You have that Magician again at the bottom of the deck for this. This Magician lined up with that 7 of Swords. It feels like this person, maybe from your past, is coming back, wanting to let things go. If you have an apology from the past, but you're dealing with somebody present in your life right now that you feel positive about, don't let the other person derail you. It's okay. Don't emotionally succumb to that pain and fear and worry. Move away from it. Show me the 4 of Cups for Pisces. Yeah, whatever the situation is, you got the 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands talks about conflict. It talks about discouragement. It talks about not being heard, not being valued. It talks about being in conflict with people and not wanting to take it, not wanting to engage in that anymore, Honoring yourself enough to say, no, I've had enough. I don't want to be part of that anymore. You may apologize to me, or I just don't want to be part of it. Show me the Queen of Wands with the 10 of Pentacles. They came out together. So you have the 5 of Pentacles here, letting somebody go, shutting things out so you can actually get what you want. Give me one more. Yeah, Nine of Wands in reverse. Letting go of anxiety, letting go of needing to have your guard up, shutting somebody out. This reading is very interesting. I'm going to pull some information for each group, okay? Okay, so, yeah. So for the group that have somebody coming back from the past that are not involved with anybody, for the group that have somebody coming back in the past, from the past that are not involved with anybody else, show me what is helpful for them. So for that group, you have the Six of Cups in reverse, you have the Empress, you have the Two of Cups, and you have the King of Cups in reverse. So first of all, I want to say this is basically a lesson of holding on to the past, holding on to things that are painful, reminiscing and romanticizing somebody who may not have lived up to your expectations, but still wanting them to fit the bill. Be careful about that. There may have been a definite soulmate connection. You have two cards of soulmate energy here, very heavily placed. Undeniable bonds, undeniable connections, but that doesn't mean that you need to stay in them, Pisces. The Empress here, she takes care of herself. She's a nurturer. She understands her place in life. She is abundant. She knows what makes sense for her, and she goes after it. She doesn't accept what doesn't. Here you have the King of Cups in reverse now, Pisces. He's up here, sandwiched between the Seven of Swords and the Six of Swords. But the King of Cups in reverse is somebody who's emotionally imbalanced. They drink. They are liars sometimes. They're cheaters. They do not share their emotions. They don't know how to process their emotions. They're very secretive. They're manipulative. They do things on their own terms. They are underhanded in regard to how they incorporate themselves with somebody else. It's not easy going. Here you have the Queen of Swords in reverse at the bottom of the deck for that spread. So those of you who are dealing with somebody like this, it leaves you out of balance. It leaves you irate, emotionally frustrated, grasping for straws, not knowing which direction to go in, and mentally in mental upheaval. That's what it feels like for you or this person, for the group that are not dealing with anybody else and have somebody coming back. Okay. Okay. For the group that have somebody and are dealing with somebody, you're already involved with somebody and you have somebody come back from the past. Show me that group. You have somebody that you're already involved with, and then you have somebody coming back from the past. Show me that group. Thank you. Any more? Okay, so I feel that that's that. For that group, you have to strive for balance here. Go for what is important to you. Go for what is makes you feel stable. Go for the stable option here. At the bottom of the deck, you have Death in reverse. This is basically it's Scorpio energy. You have the King of Cups here many times. But this energy is essentially going back to something that needs to die. You know, that is an option here. Learning to really evaluate a situation before you step back into it. Did it bring you... Look at this person. They don't look happy. They look very frustrated and upset. This is a card of evaluation. This is a card of figuring out if you want to put energy and effort into something. This is a card of going back into something that needs to die. You know, for those of you that have a situation with somebody that you're already with and now you have somebody coming back from the past, find balance, find the courage to say what it is that you mean and go with the person that leaves you with the most stability. Okay? Now, for the group that have somebody coming back from the past that has changed. For the group that has somebody coming back from the past that has changed. For the group that is having somebody come back from the past that has changed. What is the best course of action for that group? For you that have, okay. So you have the Ten of Wands popping out. What else? Page of Cups. Tower. Four of Pentacles. One more. Four of Wands and the High Priestess, and at the bottom of the deck we have the Eight of Cups in reverse. So this is somebody coming back, first of all. The Eight of Cups in reverse denotes somebody who has essentially walked away and now they're coming back. They want to come back. You have a situation that kind of blows you out of the water. It's scary. And I think that this is an evaluation where we may be a little bit more scared. We may be holding on to a lot of the fear that we've had with this person. It's very frustrating. And so you're holding on to what you know. But for those of you that this person has changed, it feels like they're letting some of that go. They're also letting down a facade. It feels like they're opening up their heart, so they're actually able to connect with you in a different way. And I think that that's taken a fair amount of growth on their part that maybe you didn't expect. This is talking about releasing the burdens in the situation, letting go of things that are painful now, and learning from the past to not make those mistakes again. Using your intuition in regard to this situation, not being a piece of meat, not being a side option, do not be anything that is in the realm of secrecy, and speak from your heart with this person. I think that there's an intuitive connection with you that may have been very scary initially, and it's wanting to come back around to, I guess, prove that it's an actual connection that's undeniable. That's what it feels like. And then you have this Page of Cups here, which is an apology. It is sorting things out emotionally. It's being honest with ourselves emotionally. It's being genuine emotionally. And then the Four of Wands is talking about stability within our foundations. It's talking about connecting with people, bringing people into our lives, creating families with people, experiencing happiness in our home with others that we care about, solidifying relationships. It can talk about marriage. It can talk about a lot of things. But for somebody to be coming back. Yeah. So I would say give that a shot then if it feels right for you. And only you guys are going to know which group you fall into. I'm sorry there's so many groups. This reading is pretty epic the way it's placed out here. So I'm going to do one oracle card here for you guys, and we're going to call it good. Yeah. Show me Pisces. Hi, Marcel. Hang on. Moonstone. Okay, so Moonstone. And I might want to read the one at the bottom of the deck too. It's Datura. Moonstone. Moonstone. Soothing, third eye, tranquility. Moonstone is a type of feldspar and is one of my favorite gemstones due to its ethereal beauty. The shifting, cool colors give it a very tranquil feel. Some cultures believe moonstone to be by the moon's rays, solidified. Some cultures believe moonstone to be the moon's rays solidified. It is said to aid with overcoming grief and stress and helps with strengthening intuition and clairvoyance. It is associated with the third eye and the crown chakra. If you are in need of recharging, let moonstone provide healing. Yeah, I feel that's more so for the people who are dealing with somebody who's coming back and there's a lot of pain involved. You're needing to use your intuition. But I think more so the soothing aspect of this is very important. Also, remember when I said communicating not from an egoic, like if you're closing this down for good with somebody that you just know you can't trust, communicating from a place of serenity versus like egoic, like anger and, I'm going to get one up on you because you fucked me over. Like, just remember that peace is the biggest, like, blow to somebody's ego. If you're at peace with yourself and your feathers aren't ruffled and you're not all like discombobulated by somebody showing up and being a turd, like, pretty good, Pisces. Pretty solid, okay? I want to read Datura. I've never read this card. Actually, I'm going to read this one and then Tide Pool. There's 3 cards here, 2 at the bottom of the deck. I've never read this one. You guys are going to have to choose where it goes for you, okay? But now I'm feeling that these are important to read. So Datura 45. Datura, intoxication, sleep, hex breaking, flight. Part of the nightshade family, the night-blooming datura is a poisonous plant with many interesting magical properties. Ingesting any part of the plant can induce visions, and many shamanic cultures and witches use it for astral travel, hex-breaking, and communing with spirits. However, it is a highly poisonous plant, so ingesting too much can lead to literal death. So, yeah, I mean, for those of you that are dealing with somebody that you know is utterly toxic here, like, even in little amounts, you know that this isn't healthy for you, okay? It's better to cut the wounds, cut the cord. But being in that situation, it's almost as if you're like reopening wounds and just cutting them. Not good. So the last card that is under the deck is Tide Pool. And let us find that. 46. Poor Marcelli's outside crying. It's dark outside. It's dark outside. All right. Tide Pool. Weathering the ebb and flow. During low tide, little pockets of seawater remain on the beach, in nooks, holes, and in between rocks. In these pockets, many small organisms such as sea anemones, urchins, and crabs thrive. This card features common creatures found in tide pools here in the Pacific Northwest. These unassuming little oases in a hostile environment serve as a reminder to endure the ebbs and flows of life. When things seem difficult, remember that the tide will always come back. So let that be. Good luck, you guys. I hope this reading was helpful. My name is Isel. I'm on YouTube as the Altruistic Mystic. And please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to donate, there's the link in the description box below for that. And I hope it was helpful. And thank you so much for your patience. I'm sorry that I was so sick. It just knocked me out. So yeah, I'll be back in a couple weeks for the May reading. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. All right, take care. Bye-bye.